This is the new reality show. And I'm hoping that we can put music behind this because it's only going to be a matter of weeks before we start to see, just folks showing up.
To calling Selena Gomez out directly for this and using, using the moms and their own words to counter that message.
Now, singer and actress Selena Gomez filmed herself weeping today. She was in a, let's call it a performative fit of hysteria.
Did you hear the news? Selena Gomez just destroyed The View after they allegedly humiliated her live on TV. And if the rumors are true, this is some serious drama we got to talk about, no? So come on, let me show you the real story behind this new controversy.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't.
Recently, Selena Gomez posted this super emotional video crying over ICE raids happening across the US, right? The video shows her upset about deportation imitated by Trump. But guess what? She deleted it shortly after. Why? Maybe it was all the hate she got from some conservatives who were totally mocking her. Crazy, right? But hear me out. When I say that almost everyone shoots at her for what? Just crying and caring? And the View crew decides to talk about it, because why would they leave any tiny opportunity? They're sitting there talking about Selena's tears, but what are they really saying? Are they supportive or throwing shade? Let's have a look.
Conversation is Selena Gomez. Now, she took down an emotional post talking about the impact of these raids on her people. After backlash, here's what border czar Tom Homan and conservative media had to say.
Selena Gomez and the others, I would check your compassionate privilege.
First of all, this whole thing with Selena and her emotional video about the ICE raids was a major moment. But then the backlash hit hard. Some people couldn't handle her showing empathy, especially when it comes to deportation stuff. Can't blame her for caring, right? But then the conservatives came for her, questioning why she didn't show the same energy for violent criminals. Do they not get that showing compassion for one doesn't mean you ignore the other? Like, can't we be mad at both things, people?
So, Selena responded by posting, apparently it's not okay to show empathy for people. So, I guess I'm supposed to ask you if you think the country has a problem finding empathy, but I wonder if you really want to, make an impact, why aren't they sending folks back who are in jail already?
Then, the View crew is really questioning the system, right? You've got Whoopi calling it a reality show because the whole immigration situation just keeps playing out in public with no real transparency. We're seeing families being torn apart, and people are questioning whether that's even necessary. But hey, there's also that whole, why don't we focus on deporting the real criminals angle. I get it, but should we be okay with just rounding people up without knowing if they've done something bad? The system's gotta show us some proof, right? But then there's this argument about empathy. It's honestly crazy how divided this is. Selena, for example, is showing compassion for the people being deported, but some folks are mad because they think she should care about every issue. Honestly, it's hard when we live in a country where people just can't seem to agree on anything, especially when emotions are involved. And let's not forget Dr. Phil popping up in all of this.
The nationwide mass deportation live show that we've been seeing on every network has even featured some guest stars like Dr. Phil.
Why was he even there? They had a discussion about Dr. Phil's involvement with ICE during a raid in Chicago. Dr. Phil had joined ICE to track down people considered criminals, but Joy Behar jokingly wondered why Dr. Phil was even involved in this, asking, "What is Dr. Phil doing there?" This prompted some laughter, but only for a moment. After that, it's just controversies and news all over the place. The conversation highlighted how strange and unexpected it was for someone like Dr. Phil to be involved in such a serious situation, with the hosts commenting on how surreal it all seemed. But wait, I'm shocked.
Watching Selena Gomez, what people don't understand is two things can be true at once. All of these conservative media pundits answered with, "What about the violent criminals?" Selena Gomez can feel compassion.
Finally, Sarah Haynes stood up for Selena Gomez. This feels unreal, but apparently it's true, folks. Conservative figures, including Sean Hannity, mocked Gomez, even telling her to check her privilege over her response. On The View, Haynes was frustrated with these reactions, saying that it's totally okay to feel compassion for people going through tough times, regardless of who they are. She explained that Selena has a personal connection to the issue through her immigrant grandmother, and it's natural for her to care.
For people being deported, she has a very personal connection to that. Her grandmother came in the back of a truck across the border, and her father was then born in the country. She's born in the country. She belongs here. But that is natural to then say, God, it's heartbreaking to watch this.
Haynes also made a key point. If the government was transparent about who was being deported, such as criminals with serious offenses, people like Selena would support those actions. But the lack of transparency leads to confusion and frustration. This is the point that really stuck with many people. Are we really willing to show empathy to those who are undocumented, but then ignore the people who suffer because of violent crimes committed by others? Shouldn't we be able to care about both sides? Or is this one of those issues where we're just too caught up in the politics of it all to see the real people behind the numbers? But hold on, because I've got one more situation here. Ever heard about the White House? Let me tell you what happened here, because that's one interesting drama you should know about.
You're absolutely right. And listen, not to sound insultive, but I had to look her up because I didn't really know whether she was an actress or a singer. And I apologize for that. But realistically, where was she? I mean, where were a lot of these actors? Look, it's insulting because I see a lot of these Latino actors and singers that live in the United States, California and Florida. They were doing the big outcry that said if President Trump wins, they were going to either move to Canada or Mexico. I haven't seen them pack their bags.
The White House recently shared a video that took aim at Selena Gomez for her emotional video about the immigration crackdowns, when Gomez expressed her sadness and helplessness over the mass deportations, particularly when children were involved. Trust me when I say that, things got heated when the White House jumped in, sharing a video of moms who lost their kids because of crimes linked to people who were in the country illegally. They were like, "Selena, you don't even know what you're crying for. What about our pain?" Some of these moms felt like Selena was just stirring up sympathy without understanding the bigger picture. One even said this:
"You don't know who you're crying for. What about our children who were brutally murdered and raped and beat to death and left on the floor by these illegal immigrants?"
Like, whoa, that's a heavy response. And it makes you wonder, can you feel bad for one side without ignoring the other? And guess what? Even her fans didn't hold back and turned their backs on Selena. Some fans called her out for making such a serious issue about herself, while others thought she was just trying to look good with her Mexican fans. And some even criticized her for not speaking Spanish well enough in a movie about Mexican culture. The debate sparked a lot of back and forth between different sides of the immigration issue, with some praising the recent policies aimed at tougher immigration enforcement, while others pointed to the human side of the story, showing empathy for those affected by deportations. And if you think this is it, I'll make sure it's not. Because I've got Megyn Kelly roasting Selena so bad, perhaps she would cry more after this. So, things took a wild turn when Megyn Kelly jumped into the conversation about Selena Gomez crying over ICE deportations. Kelly didn't hold back and called out Selena, saying, "She's unwell. Obviously, this is an unwell person." She added, "Anybody who takes their phone, works up in tears, and posts a video of themselves crying into their phone is sick. That's a sick person." Ouch. Selena is probably crying again tonight. Trust me, I really feel bad for her.
How to turn on your phone, let alone aim yourself at the camera. Normal people don't do that. Performers do that.
No, it's so humiliating.
Yeah.
Most people with a touch of dignity.
Kelly's point was that tears are usually a private thing. If you're crying in public, you should move on quickly. But Selena was putting it all out there for her millions of followers, almost like she was trying to get extra sympathy. Kelly went on to say, "I'm really sad. I know I have hundreds of millions of followers, but I hate this country." And guess how Selena responded to all this hate? Or simply, she destroyed everyone because after she was mocked to a certain limit, she actually deleted the video. But Kelly? She didn't stop and had remarks on her deleting the video as well. She said she deleted it after her fans taught her that the majority of the country stands behind these policies, but I'm sure she was shocked to get any blowback whatsoever. Then, Selena, one strong girl, took to Instagram stories and responded to all the hate by posting, "Apparently it's not okay to show empathy for people." Now, here's the big question. Was Selena just trying to show she cared, or was she going overboard with the tears for the camera? Do you think it's wrong for people to cry publicly over serious issues? Or is it okay to share emotions, even on social media? And was Kelly fair calling her out like this? Even if she did, I guess Selena responded quite nicely to all of them, right? But was this answer enough for The View ladies?
Because it is now a reality show. This is the new reality show. And I'm hoping that we can put music behind this because it's only going to be a matter of weeks before we start to see.
Because many people are asking why Whoopi talked about Selena in the first place. Did she bring Selena up so that more people would see her video and mock her, or is it just what people think? Although everyone knows how The View is always ready to make a big deal out of nothing, they even roast their own guest. Why would they spare Selena the star? You don't believe me? Have a look at where these hosts call guests in their own show and then humiliate them, because that's just them in their natural habitat.
Question for you, because you talk about I don't have Trump derangement. Let me tell you what I have. Okay. I have a lot of. I'm tired of people starting a conversation.
So there was this intense moment on The View when Whoopi Goldberg and guest Jeanine Pirro got into a screaming match. Jeanine, who was there promoting her book, accused Whoopi of having serious issues with hating the president, which really set Whoopi off, apart from the fact that this really is true. And guess what? Whoopi responded by saying, "I am tired of people starting a conversation with Mexicans as liars." She was clearly angry and didn't like being accused of something she didn't agree with, but isn't it the truth? The situation heated up when Jeanine tried to bring up something else, but Whoopi snapped back saying this.
What's horrible when the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people. No. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye, and then on the other side of that, timeout.
That was the moment Whoopi ended the conversation and walked off the set. After the argument, Whoopi admitted on air that she was frustrated. She said, "You saw me do something that I rarely do. I rarely lose my cool." She wasn't proud of how it went down, but didn't like being called hysterical.
And I said something like, "Whoopi, you know, I spent my whole life fighting for victims," because we had talked about rapes and all that. And she said to me, as she got up in my face, and I read somewhere someone said, "Well, you should have kept walking." I couldn't walk by her. She was at the bottom of the stairs. She says, "F you, F you." And then I said, "Did you just say F you?"
Jeanine, on the other hand, later claimed that Whoopi yelled at her to "Get the F out of this building," and pointed her finger in her face. Jeanine said it was all part of a bigger pattern where she felt the left invites people to talk, but doesn't actually let them speak their minds. Can you believe this and how it all sounds? It's such a humiliating act by The View, and people from that day on do not believe and support a single thing The View says. They even said that these ladies are capable of everything. So, what do you think? Is it okay for Selena to show empathy for those affected by deportations, or would it be better if she would have been quiet? So, what do you think about all this drama? I mean, we all know it's a big mess, but hey, when isn't it? Do you think we'll ever see a real solution, or is this just going to be the next reality show we can't stop watching? Is it okay to cry on social media about serious issues, or should we keep that stuff private? Do let us know your views in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.